Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and this is gonna be tech hauls number 16. So yeah, let's just get started. And this is gonna be a pretty long video, just saying. It's gonna be about, I think, 20 minutes after it's completed, cause yeah, I found a lot of stuff, and yeah, let's just get started. So the first find is this phone. This is an HTC 8X. It's on AT&T, but I got it unlocked. Yeah, this thing is in basically good condition, besides like this little crack in like the back plastic, but it's totally fine. It doesn't affect anything. And yeah, this phone works perfectly. If I can turn it on. Yeah. Oh, that's about here. That, like, with the specs, it's on Windows Phone 8.0, which is kind of old and unsupported. It's on AT&T, but it's unlocked. And yeah, my SIM card works inside. And more info, yeah, that's all the stuff if you want to see that. Yeah, this is a pretty nice phone. It has, I think, a gig of RAM. Like 32 gigabytes of storage, I think. Yeah, 32 gigs. And yeah, this thing also had a bunch of apps on it, and I haven't erased the phone yet, because it had like a bunch of like apps that are discontinued because Windows Phone 8 is like not supported anymore, and they stopped, and like they removed the App Store. Yeah, this thing had apps on it like Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really see anymore on Windows phones, because the App Store is shut down. But yeah, this is just an old Windows phone. I might just sell this for like $50, I think. I should probably sell it for 50 pretty easily. But yeah, Windows Phone 8X HTC. I have no idea what it said there, but yeah. Here's the next find. This is probably the second worst find. Or this, I think this is the worst find. Yeah, this is the worst find. This is a Microsoft Lumia, or Nokia Lumia 1520. It's a pretty nice phone. It's really big. Like, it's basically the same size as my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So that's for like some scale. It's a huge phone. Yeah, this thing works perfectly. Besides, the screen is dead. I mean, this LCD somehow does work, but the touchscreen is completely dead. I mean, it kind of works in this corner, kind of, but it's hard to use. And yeah, this phone works perfectly. Besides the LCD, I might just get a screen replacement, but I'm not sure yet. And yeah, this thing has, I think, 32 gigabytes of storage. It's factory unlocked, because there's no branding on it. And yeah, this is not reset yet. It has someone's data on it. And I have to reset it after I get a screen. That's if I get a screen. And yeah, this is a really big phone. Pretty nice, actually. It came out in like 2015. Next find is this phone. This is a Sony Xperia. I'll turn it on. I forgot the model number. But yeah, it's on Android 2.2. It's a really slow phone. It's extremely slow. Yeah, just that lag. It's not good. And about phone, it's the HTC X10. Not HTC. Sony Ericsson Xperia X10 Focus. Sony Xperia X10i, and it's on Android 2.1, I think. Yeah, 2.1. If it loads, it's just really slow. Yeah, you just saw that lag right there. I don't know if I can do this on Android 2. I probably can't. But yeah, it's a pretty nice phone. I might just like go ahead and root this one and install like Android 6 on here, cause that's possible on these phones. It's also factory unlocked. And yeah, it's a really nice phone. It also has a finger, I don't know what it's called. It's like a strap. It's like a camera strap, but it's on a phone. It's kind of weird, but yeah. It also has a front camera. Actually, wait, does it have a front camera? I'm just gonna check. It probably doesn't, cause that's just like an IR blaster or whatever. I have no idea what I'm saying here, but yeah, it has a back camera, but not a front camera. So yeah, pretty old phone. It came out in like 2010, but yeah. Next find is this phone. I'll just get to this one later, cause yeah. And here is the next find. This is actually a pretty interesting phone. It's like a Microsoft Lumia, I think. It's a 435, but the weird thing is that it says proto.microsoft.com, and that means it's a prototype. It also has like some weird prototype software on it, like top CPU, top memory. This is just really weird, and I think it's the first prototype I've ever found, or like one of the first good ones I've ever found. And yeah, it also has this like thing. Where is it? It has an FM radio, and yeah, the start menu on this is gone because this is like a testing device, I think. And yeah, it has like no branding on it besides Microsoft and proto.microsoft.com. And I can't even go to and I can't even like go to settings or anything, because it just says search for an app in the store. And if I try to go anywhere, it just shows like debug menu. This is just interesting, and it might be worth quite a bit, but I'm not sure yet. And yeah, it also has this like thing in the corner and I can also turn it off if I wanted to, but yeah, this is just really interesting. I played around with this for quite a while, and yeah, it's a cool phone. That's definitely something really interesting to have in my collection. So yeah, next find is this OnePlus One. This is in a horrible condition. Like the back on this phone is just super gross and dirty, and it's also missing pieces. And yeah, I would have bought a back cover for this and a new screen, but sadly back covers are like completely out of stock everywhere, and I don't think they sell them anymore. And anyways, I'll have another OnePlus One I found. So yeah, this thing is just gonna be like sold, or I might just buy a screen for this one. And yeah, the touch also gonna work on this one. So I have a mouse and a OTG cable, or whatever it's called, a USB to micro USB to mouse connector. If you can see here, the mouse is showing up, and yeah, it does work. And I did set this up. It had like no Google locks or anything, and yeah, it's an Android 6.0. Pretty nice actually, and it's also on CyanogenMod. If I can go to, it's just really hard with this really bad Apple mouse. But yeah, if I can go to settings, about phone, here it's on Android 6.0.1. This is a OnePlus One, so it's really rare. It's like the original OnePlus phone, and yeah, this is just a really cool phone to have. It's also like a really good design, because it like fits perfectly in my hand, and it's like really comfortable to use. And yeah, then my other OnePlus One, this is a way better OnePlus One I found. This one is not cracked, and it's in better condition. It also came with this case on it. It's made by OnePlus, because it says designed by OnePlus on it, and yeah, this thing is in even worse condition. And then the other one, the back cover, but yeah, it has a case on it that says designed by OnePlus, which is kind of cool. And yeah, this phone works perfectly. I've already set it up. It had like my account on it and everything. And yeah, it's a really nice phone so far. It also like fits perfectly in my hand, and it's really fast on Android 5. Yeah, this is just a really nice phone. Yeah, by the way, the specs are here. CPU Z, Qualcomm Snapdragon 801. It's kind of old, but it's totally fine. Definitely usable. It's the OnePlus One. It has 3 GB of RAM, which is actually really good for 2015 or 2014 or whatever it came out. It has 64 gigs of storage, which is like actually really good for this phone, because 64 gigs is like the same storage as the iPhone 11 Pro has, and that's like a 2019 phone, and this one's a 2014 phone. This one also has 64 gigs. So yeah, that's all for the phones. I'll move on to some other stuff like laptops, PCs, stuff like that. So here's our first laptop. This is the Asus ZenBook UX31A, and it's actually an amazing laptop. It's one of the best laptops I've ever found, actually. And yeah, this laptop is extremely thin. It's about as thin as a modern MacBook Air. It's really good. Yeah, that's just a tour of it. It's in amazing condition also. It's just really good. And yeah, here's the back. It also was missing one of the rubber feet, so I just bought 2 replacements for like $1 at a dollar store, because why not? Yeah, now the laptop sits flat. I'm just gonna take it off the tripod so I can show you better. And yeah, here's the laptop. It's amazing so far. And yeah, and like I run Windows 10, it's fully activated. And settings, system, about. And here's the specs. It has an i5-3317U at 1.7 GHz, 8 gigs of RAM, which is DDR3, and a 256GB SSD. So yeah, this thing is a pretty good, powerful laptop actually, and it scores 537 in Cinebench, because I benchmarked it. And yeah, this is a really nice laptop, and I'm really excited to have this in my collection. And I might be selling this one, but I'm not sure yet, because I really like it. And it's also super thin, and looks really modern for a 7-year-old machine. It's also like a touchscreen, which is nice. Yeah, a really nice laptop so far. It also has a 256GB SanDisk SSD inside it, which is by itself worth like $40. The laptop itself, I think, if I could sell this, I could probably get like $200 for it easily, since it's such an amazing machine. And yeah, nice laptop. Next find. And the laptop is also another Asus. This is the Asus VivoBook Q550L. It was released in 2015 at a starting price of $1,000. Because yeah, I researched it a bit, and this is actually a really nice laptop. It has a 4th generation i5, or i7 actually. If I go into settings, system, and about, yeah, it has a 4th generation Core i7, which scores like 1,300 cinnamon, which is actually really good. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it has the GT 740 graphics, or GT 740M, 745M graphics. If I can get into the NVIDIA control panel here. Give it a second. Yeah, here, yeah. It has the GT 745M with 2 gigabytes of dedicated GDDR3 graphics memory, I think. And yeah, it's in amazing condition. It's also a touchscreen, which is pretty nice. The logo also lights up, and the back is kind of like dented out, but it's totally fine. It's usable, it works, and the only real issue is that the hinge is missing, or like the hinge cover is missing. The hinge is still perfect. It works, but I ordered a new hinge cover for like $12 like on eBay, and it's coming in a few days. And yeah, I'm just gonna sell this one for like, I was thinking like $350 or $380. I'm not sure yet. And yeah, also this one has a 240 gig SSD, cause I just bought an SSD cause I just bought an SSD for it, for like, I think $25 for 240 gigs. It's pretty good. And yeah, it's a really nice laptop so far, and it's also decently powerful for a free machine. The touchpad is also really good. I think it's tempered glass, or just like regular glass, but it's like a really good touchpad. It's about as good as like my Razor Blade Stealth. So yeah, it's an amazing laptop, really good. Next find. And then the next find is this thing. Yeah, this is actually a Surface Pro 3. It's a 512 gigabyte model, and the only issue is that, number one, it does actually work with DisplayPort, but it's missing a screen, and screens for these are pretty expensive, but like when I get the money, I will be buying a screen for $160, and also a 512 gig SSD, because the SSD is missing, and I think that the screen just broke on this one, so someone just took it off, and yeah, this Surface does work perfectly. I'll try to turn it on if it still has battery. Yeah, you'll see the caps lock thing light up. But yeah, this is a really nice laptop. It has a 4th generation Core i7, 4500U, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it's gonna have a 512 gig SSD when I get enough money to buy one, because a screen and an SSD are like $150 to $160 combined. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be fixing up this laptop. It'll probably be pretty soon after I sell some of my stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to fix this laptop. It also came with this Surface Pro 4 keyboard with a bigger touchpad, but it's also missing these 2 keys, but that's totally fine. I can just buy a new keyboard, or I'll probably just find one sometime. This is a super nice laptop, or actually technically a tablet, but I don't really care. Also, here's the hinges. They're pretty cool. That's hinge action right there. Really nice. I guess that's me all for laptops. I found 3 laptops. Now for PC parts, and I found a ton of good PC parts. So here's the one and only GPU I found. This is the Sapphire Nitro. What is it? It's the R9 270X with 2 GB of GDDR5 memory. And yeah, this is a pretty nice card, if I can see right. Where is it? Yeah, here. It's the R9 270X 2 gig. And yeah, it's a really nice card. It has 2 DVI outputs, and an HDMI, and a mini display port. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be using this card for something. It also needs 2 PCI 6 pins to power it. And I definitely will be using this card for something. I might just go ahead and sell it. But yeah, this thing is basically the AMD version of the GTX 1050. A like normal 1050, not a Ti. And it's a pretty powerful graphics card. Like, it's a cheap one, but it's not bad at all. And definitely a good find for free. And also this one works perfectly. I tested it inside my test bench. And it's a really good card, and I'm really excited to have it. Pretty nice. And here's some other finds, like this is RAM, SSD, stuff like that. So yeah, basically I found G-Skill Ripjaws DDR3. This is 4 gigabytes of 1600 megahertz. And yeah, this memory works perfectly. It's pretty good memory, decent quality, nice. Next, I found some DDR2. This is 1 gigabyte of PC2 640. No, it's 666. So this is pretty bad DDR2. But I mean, it works. It probably does work. I haven't tested it yet. But yeah, this thing probably does work. And it's decent for like testing PCs. And there's 4 gigabytes of it. Next is this laptop RAM. This is 16 gigabytes of SK Hynix 2133 megahertz DDR4, and this is 8 gigabytes of the same laptop RAM, but it's 2400 megahertz. And yeah, this is definitely useful RAM. I could use it for like a gaming laptop if I ever got a new gaming laptop, or I could use it for like to upgrade laptops. I don't know what I could use with this. But yeah, this is really good RAM. This DIMM alone is probably worth like $50, I'm guessing, because it's 16 gigabytes. And pretty nice. And here's the best find. These are really good. So the first find is this NVMe SSD. This is, I think, what is this one? It's a 256 gigabyte Samsung SSD, I think. I think it's Samsung. And yeah, this thing works perfectly. It had Windows 10 on it, but it had someone's account on it, but I just wiped it. And yeah, now it works perfectly. It's a really good SSD. And yeah, here's the main find. This is a freaking SanDisk 512 gigabyte SSD. That's amazing. It's an M2 drive. It's the X300 SSD. And this thing is an amazing drive. It's worth like, I don't even know. It's probably worth like $75, I'm guessing, because it's M2. And I definitely will be using this for my gaming PC build, which is coming pretty soon. And I have some more parts that I found for that build. So yeah, I'll just get to some other parts. Here's the last find. This is actually the best find, I think, so far. And this is an Asus Z97 Deluxe motherboard, which is an amazing motherboard for the LGA 1150 socket, I think. It has an i7-4770 inside, and Intel stock cooler. It also came with 8 GB of G-Skill Ripjaz DDR3 memory, which is pretty good. And yeah, this motherboard by itself is worth like $300. It's like the best motherboard for the 1150 socket. And yeah, it's an amazing motherboard. It also has an M2 slot, which is great. It has like 12 SATA ports, which is mind-blowing. Freaking 12 SATA ports. That's like, wow. 12. That's overkill, basically. It has 8 gigs of RAM, which I'm gonna upgrade to 32 if I ever find 32 gigabytes of RAM. But for now, I have 16 in like my spare pile of memory. It has, yeah, it's a good motherboard. It's an amazing motherboard. It also says Asus design on it, and this is all metal. It's a really good board. It also has this thing, like the little LCD thing, which shows like voltage and stuff, I think. It also has a power button on the motherboard. It has a TPM card. I have no idea what this thing does. But yeah, it's like removable. I'll like remove it later, but yeah. It has built-in freaking Wi-Fi. That's epic. It has mini DisplayPort, HDMI, digital audio. This board is basically fully packed. And the i7-4770 inside is also a really good processor. It's kind of old, but it's like amazing for free. And yeah, this board came inside an old machine, and that they're throwing away. The case, like the case that was inside the motherboard. Wait, what am I saying? Sorry. The motherboard was inside a case, and the case was like a really old Cooler Master one, and it looked really ugly, so I just didn't take the case, because it was also really heavy. And yeah, here's the I/O shield, and this also came with a power supply. I'll show you the power supply in a minute. But yeah, this is an amazing motherboard. I really like it. And I will be using the 512GB SSD inside here, and I also did order a Fantex tempered glass case for like $60. It's coming today, and I ordered an RX 580 8GB. And yeah, I'm just going to be doing a full gaming PC build on this motherboard and using the RX 580 8GB and the Fantex tempered glass case. And I'm just going to be doing that. I'm going to be uploading it to the channel in a few days. So yeah, you can look forward to that. These are like some of the best finds I've ever found. So yeah, next find. Here's the next find. This is a Thermaltake Tough Power Grand 1200 watt power supply. This thing is overkill for anything, basically. Yeah, it has so much on it. And I probably won't even use half of this. And yeah, this thing is 80 plus, I think, platinum or titanium or something. But yeah, this thing is like a $300 power supply. It's like the top of the line Thermaltake from a few years ago. And Tough Power Grand 1200 watt. It's amazing. It also looks really good. It's fully modular, which is really epic. Yeah, it's an amazing power supply, and I really enjoy having this, or like, using this or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, nice power supply. Pretty good. And I will be using this for my build, which is going to be uploaded in a few days. So yeah, look forward to that. I guess that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Oh wait, more finds. I totally forgot about these. I'm kind of done. So yeah, here's an EVGA 660 Ti. Yeah. It's in good condition. Everything works on it. It has HDMI, DVI, and a mini DVI or whatever. And yeah, 660 Ti. It uses two PCIe power connections. This thing has 2 gigabytes of DDR5. And it's definitely like a usable graphics card in 2019 or in 2020 actually. But yeah, it's kind of old, and I will be using this for something, and I'm sure I will be using this. Next find is this Corsair XMS3. It's 1600 megahertz. These are both 2 gigabyte sticks, totaling 4 gigs of RAM, which is pretty small actually. And 2 gigs of RAM isn't that much, especially if it's DDR3. So yeah, these sticks are kind of worthless, but pretty good I guess for free. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe down below, and peace.